am so excited for today's video, like so excited. I got this idea from the Fat Mascara podcast. If you haven't checked out that podcast, it's amazing. I listen to it all the time. If you're a beauty junkie like me, definitely check it out. But in the podcast, they did an episode where they went through their favorite cosmetic products from the ages of 5, 10, 15, and 20. It's a new year, a new decade. What better way to commemorate this new decade than by going through my favorite cosmetics through my decades. So we're gonna go through my favorite cosmetics again from the ages of 5, 10, 15, and 20. For anybody doing the math, from my shirt that says 1989, I was born in 1989. I'm gonna be turning 31 this year. I'm so happy to be in my 30s. I love my 30s so far, and yeah, so I'm excited to be going back in time with you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy this blast from the past video. First things first, we're gonna start out at the age of 5. And here's little Leanne at 5 years old, dressed as a Smurf, holding a Smurf, talking on a phone, which by the way was never plugged into anything. I just would like have these weird photo shoots, like make my mom take photos of me throughout the house when I was like 5 years old, and I would always make her put lipstick on me. As you can see in that photo, I'm wearing a red lip, and that kind of continued into adulthood. I love a good red lip, obviously. My mom was never really a makeup girl. She never really, to this day, she doesn't really care for like skincare, cosmetics. I don't know where I got my cosmetic like love from, because nobody in my immediate family is like a cosmetic junkie like I am. But she would always have bright lipsticks, and she would never really wear them that much, but she would keep them in the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. And when nobody was looking, I would actually lock myself in the bathroom, sit on the sink, and just sit there and put on all her lipsticks. I ruined so many of her lipsticks, but I would just sit there, put them on, and just like pose, and I don't know. I was a weird child. So one thing that I'll always remember is my mom always had Wet n Wild lipstick in this bright, bright orange shade. This is like my childhood in a lipstick. This is the shade Purdy Permison, I think it's Permison. This brings back so many memories. I'm gonna put it on over my red lipstick just because this formula is so drying. This is gonna sound so weird, but that right there reminds me of my childhood. I would also like mix all the lipsticks together to make my own custom shades, and like just really, I was just so fascinated by color and the way that like makeup can transform you, and the way that I could put lipstick on and instantly feel like I was an adult and I was responsible and I was like sophisticated. It's so weird that makeup can make you change the whole way that you carry yourself, and I think I learned that at a very young age, which is why I became so beauty obsessed. Next, we're gonna go into 10 years old. 10 years old is a weird age for any girl or guy. I don't know. I can't speak to a male's experience, but for me, 10 years old was a weird age because you're kind of like coming into your teen years. You're coming into yourself. So when I was 10 years old, I fully went into this tomboy phase where I was wearing baggy jeans and hoodies, and I didn't really care much for beauty and cosmetics. I mean, I would see my sister put on makeup and stuff, and I would kind of still be fascinated by it, but I had no really desire to put it on myself. I do remember at that age, I was very scent obsessed. I don't know why. I started really liking perfumes and body sprays and really discovering what scents I liked. And in grade school, I don't know if this was like a thing that a lot of people liked or it was just my grade school, but Calgon's Hawaiian Ginger, this stuff was it. If you had this, you were set. Hawaiian Ginger, this brings back so many grade school memories. This is literally what every girl in my grade school smelled like. It's just a really fruity scent. Just brings back memories from my childhood. So Calgon Hawaiian Ginger, that is my 10-year-old pick. Also Bonnie Bell Lip Smackers. That age from like 10 to I want to say 13, my friends and I were obsessed with Bonnie Bell Lip Smackers, and we would actually like have these little caboodle kits, and we would fill them with Bonnie Bell Lip Smackers, and we would take them to each other's houses on the weekend, compare the new flavors that we got. Mine was always Dr. Pepper. I loved Dr. Pepper Lip Smackers. I always had to have one with me because it did have that little hint of red in it. So even though I was kind of rejecting beauty at that age, I still wanted that little hint of color. I don't know. Red lipstick is always something that like in my head I just think is so beautiful, and actually I've been learning a lot more about red lipstick, and I learned a lot that back when the suffragettes were having their movement, red lipstick was like a feminist moment. Lipstick is something that was made for women. It's something that men have never really used in the past. Now it's like men and women are enjoying lipstick and cosmetics, but in the past it was like a woman's thing. So red lipstick was a way to show that you were a feminist, you were a suffragette without outwardly protesting, because you were wearing something that was bright and bold and empowering and fierce, and it was something that men couldn't really partake in at the time openly. Moving on from that, we're gonna go into my teen years. I remember at this time in my life, my friends and I ate so much fast food. If we went to Burger King at lunch, we would go to Taco Bell at dinner. If we went to Taco Bell at lunch, we would go to Burger King for dinner. And we were like, we had just gotten our licenses and we would just drive around the city eating fast food all day. So I was the biggest that I was back in like grade 11, 12-ish. And I was also very, very oily and greasy. So I always had these clean and clear oil absorbing sheets. I kept these in my backpack. I kept them in my locker. I would always pull them out because I would get so greasy. So these little blue sheets, you just pull one out and then you just kind of like blot your face and it removes any excess oil. I don't think I have too much right now because I just did my makeup. But I remember it, like when I was in high school, it would just be soaked. Ew, okay, yeah. So I did have quite a bit of oil there on my nose. I think I'm gonna actually keep these in my purse because I forgot how great these are for just like blotting oil. Another thing that we did a lot at 15 years old was tanning. So we would go to tanning salons and get very orange. It was not a good look. Back then, we just did not care. We were going tanning in tanning beds like multiple times a week. But to be fair, back then it was like when the OC and Laguna Beach and all those shows were like really in their prime. The ideal look was to be that California beach babe. Now, I live in Canada. It's no surprise that none of us are California beach babes, but that was not for lack of trying. We would all try to be that beach babe as much as possible. But that actually leads to something kind of that like my theory of why so many people are fascinated with the Kardashians. So back in like the early 2000s when it was like Paris Hilton was all over TV, the OC was on, Laguna Beach was on, that like blonde tan skin look was very much it. Like you wanted to be or wanted to look like that all-American girl. And then Kim Kardashian came on the scene and she made it cool to have dark skin, dark hair, be curvier, not necessarily have that like tiny beach body. And I feel like that's why so many people really like started keeping up with the Kardashians, because the Kardashians like kind of turned everything over and made everybody kind of want to look more exotic. So me being Middle Eastern and having darker features, I really appreciated that. People started like dyeing their hair to look like the way my hair looked, whereas I was like over processing my hair with all these like highlights and stuff so that I can look like a California beach babe, which never quite worked for me. But anyways, that is my teen years. Oil absorbing sheets and way too much tanning. Next, we're gonna go into my 20s. And my 20s, I started rediscovering beauty and cosmetics. And I think that was because, you know, my friends and I started going out more and we started like putting on makeup and getting ready together. And that was like a really good memory that I have. And again, I would always be attracted to that red lip. The red lip was a constant all throughout my life, and I don't see it ever going away. In my 20s, I also kind of became obsessed with hair, and that's when hair extensions became a thing. So these are clip-in hair extensions. I'll like clip them in and out whenever I need to. But back in the day, I don't know why I got this in my head, but my friends and I would actually get like the tracks and we would glue them to our scalp, like glue them. And we would all glue each other's hair, and like it was just big and it was messy and we had glue all in our hair. It was just not a good look. Actually, it was like we lost a lot of hair just from like picking glue out, and I would like sit there watching TV picking glue out of my hair. It was so bad. I would never do that again. I would never recommend it for anybody to ever do. And I'm so happy that like I grew out of that. I mean, I still love a good extension. I still love the fullness that an extension gives. And I'm actually going to get extensions professionally done next week. But I don't think I would ever glue them onto my head again. I don't think you should either. Another thing, when I was 20, again, that scent obsession kind of started carrying over into my 20s, and I discovered Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. This stuff I've been wearing every day for the past like 10 years. This is like my signature scent. I actually haven't put any on today. I love it. It's just so like feminine and like fresh and not too like, it's not too florally, it's not too citrusy, it's just a perfect scent. So I have been wearing this. This is like, I'm rounding out my decades by bringing this into my 30s too, because Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker is like my ride or die perfume. And I have so many others. I have Chanel perfumes. I have Dior Hypnotic Poison, which is such a beautiful scent. I have Marc Jacobs Daisy. I love perfumes, but this is the one I go for every single day just because I cannot get enough of this scent. And I actually get a lot of compliments whenever I wear this, which is every day. I just get compliments every day. Everybody's always I'm kidding. So that is it for my makeup through the decades video. Please, 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 if you're watching this video, let me know down below in the comments what your favorite makeup through the decades was. Because I love that like blast from the past, like Calgon Hawaiian Ginger. I haven't heard of this stuff in years. I actually like had to order it on Amazon because I don't even know where I would pick this stuff up anymore. Let me know. Yeah, I would love to hear about your favorite makeup through the decades and your different beauty trends, because it's so funny how we grow and evolve as people and like kind of come into ourselves. I really feel like you have to make those bad mistakes, like gluing my extensions in. Horrible mistake, but I feel like we really had to make those mistakes in order to kind of like come into our own and figure out what looks good. So anyways, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload every single week. So until next week, I'll see you guys later.